Hey everybody, welcome and thank you for hanging with us. We were having some technical difficulties and I hate being late for things. My perfectionist tendencies go rah! Know that if you have perfectionist tendencies, you're not the only one, and it's totally recoverable because we're here and we're connected now, and I'm so happy to be here with you. So let's just quickly talk about how this is going to work. I wanted to review some of the key concepts of the 5-Day Fall in Love with Money Challenge and the breakthrough, just things that we've been getting questions on about how to take this information and carry it forward in your life so that you can have the results and have the impact that I know you're capable of. If you have questions, there is a Q&A button. So if you flip, sort of hover over to the left-hand side of your computer, you'll see a Q&A tab there. And that's where I can see you, and hoping that I didn't lose everybody since we were 7 minutes late. So say hi to me, although it's loading now. I don't know, Ariel, this whole thing is like a techie goober. There we go. So if you do have questions or you just want to say hey, let me know there in the Q&A box. And again, you get to that by hovering over to the left-hand side of your computer, and you'll see a blue box that says Q&A, and then it will open up your panel here, and you can submit your questions there, and I'll see them and get them and be able to interact with you. And so let's just dive in. Yeah, and actually I would love to just take a moment and just arrive here, letting go of any of the energy that came from wondering if you were in the right place because the presentation wasn't showing up. I'm going to let go of my stress around having the time start late, and just really setting an intention that you get what you needed to hear in this moment, right? To get you into action. As I say all the time, this isn't about a magic pill. I don't have one for you. I don't have a shortcut. I don't have, a bright, shiny object for you. All I have is what I know works. And what that often looks like is setting ourselves up for success by creating conditions for ourselves to take the consistent actions that lead us to the next appropriate step in our business. And one of the reasons that, I felt like I had to come here and be having this conversation with you in Wise after years of being behind the scenes in other, guru businesses is that I reject the notion of shortcuts and magic pills, right? And so often I see so many people with amazing, great work avoiding the foundational stuff around money and knowing the foundations of their business and sales, right? Really getting in the work with people. And instead looking for the thing that's going to allow them to bypass that. And my experience is 7 years in that doesn't work. And so this is a conversation inspired by my desire to have more women empowered with the actual path that creates actual results, right? Like you can have the most beautiful website in the world and 10,000 people following you on social media and be bleeding money. You could have a $3 million a year business and be touting that all over Facebook and not be profitable. And I don't want that for any of you. I don't want it for me. I want us to create real and lasting businesses that are built on alignment and truth and integrity, and us really getting our needs and desires met through doing our purpose work in the world. And so that's what MoneyWise is about, and what this whole fun experiment of the 5-Day Fall in Love with Money Challenge was meant to create. And so let's just do a quick review of some key concepts. So in the 5-Day Fall in Love with Money Challenge, you guys were able to experience meeting your wisdom council, right? You got to spend time with your youthful self and your current reality and your wise elder, right? And see the love and conviction that they have in your ability to create whatever you want on your terms without compromise. I got some feedback after that was beautiful, right? Women just loving, tears of gratitude getting to meet that counsel, and also experiencing self-doubt, right? Experiencing well, you might have been able to do that, Kiva, but I'm different. And I want to assure you, like, if there's anything, I'm here, like, this is my house, I'm not wearing makeup, I'm just a mom who's been able to create this kind of life for myself by doing some really deep work on my beliefs and consistently moving through the fire. We talked in one of the ensuing sessions about going through the burn every time that we up level. And so if you take anything away from this, know that I'm no different than you. I've got stuff, I've got, things in my past that I'm not proud of, things that I'm very proud of. Sometimes I'm brave, sometimes I'm scared. All of these things live in me just as they live in you, right? I'm just your mirror, that's all. We learned about unconscious commitments, and that the most powerful way to get in touch with what's driving our operating system or our unconscious beliefs is to look at our reality, right? To look at the results that we're actually experiencing in the world, because our unconscious, as we learned, is very tricky. Our ego is sneaky at validating, justifying, and making reasons for why we don't have what we want. And ultimately, we have to move beyond that by actually looking at our results and then making a new conscious commitment to replace the unconscious one so that we can take action on what we do want to create. So I actually just had a personal breakthrough around this morning because, as you know, over the last few months, I've been really on fire. Sorry, I just said balls. Life on fire here, getting Wise back up and running after, it hadn't really been active for a few years. And so I had this story that my health was enough, right? And it was okay that I wasn't going to the gym. And so this morning I got myself up and I've committed to this 8-week challenge at our local kettlebell gym. And you guys, when I wash my hair tomorrow, it's going to be like this, my arms aren't working. And I got in the car afterwards and I was like, that is actually me being in integrity, right? Because I can't stand here and tell you that I'm building a business without compromise, and yet I'm compromising my own health and fitness by not showing up for myself, right? So I'm committed to being in alignment all the time and catching myself when the results aren't actually showing what I think is true. Because what I thought was true was I was healthy. And what I saw was true was that somehow magically this summer I've gained 6 pounds, right? So we got to nip that stuff in the bud and be our own best advocate for creating the conditions that we need to have the conscious reality that we want. Whew, that was a lot of words. We talked about the relationship that we have to the actions that we take, right? And how we use our language to either reinforce what we don't want, which is 90% of the population, or to tune in and get conscious about what we're saying so that we can guide our language to supporting what we do want, what we get to create, right? That we get to have it be an ease and flow instead of be hard and struggle. And so that was the 5-day Fall in Love with Money challenge, so that we could really start to navigate the inner energetics of what it takes to create lasting change. Because as you all know, information alone doesn't do the trick, right? I don't know, this is clearly on my mind today, but losing weight, right? There's not rocket science. We all have all the information that we need. There's a bazillion gigabytes of it on Google that you can find at your fingertips right now. It's not about the information. Yes, you need the knowledge of what steps to take, but it's very basic knowledge. It's not rocket science. 90% of this game is believing in this moment that you have the thing that you want to have, right? So that you're vibrating at the same level. That's the law of attraction. But what most people don't do is then follow that up with the action, right? The going to the gym, the making the sales calls, the getting the website up, whatever it is that isn't happening to have them have that thing. One of the most powerful concepts that we talked about in the Fall in Love with Money challenge, and one that we got the most questions about, is around the 5 core wounds. And so I wanted to review those with you today because these are the things that sometimes manifest themselves really deeply in our subconscious if we're not doing our own growth work. And, you know, it's one of the reasons that I love entrepreneurship as a vehicle to allow us to explore our own blocks and unconscious programming that we most likely picked up when we were very, very small to protect us. And so most of us experienced one or more of these core 5 wounds when we were little. And they are, I'm going off my memory, so you guys might have to help me by typing in, but they are humiliation, right? Being told that we're no good, that we're stupid, that we did it wrong. And honestly, you guys, I want to just note here, like, our parents did the best they could. I've even noticed, you know, with all of the work that I've done around parenting, and, you know, I've built my first multi-6-figure business training parenting coaches. And I still notice that there are moments when I'm not conscious where I have subtle ways of humiliating my daughter, especially, right? So all forgiveness and love around this conversation. And these are things that many of us experienced, right? So humiliation, persecution, right? Being spanked, being attacked. You know, I remember being at a neighbor's house when I was a little girl, and in that family, they got the belt when they were in trouble. Violation, you know, whether it's sexual abuse or having your body, your physical body violated in some way that you weren't okay with. Abandonment, you know, so many of us come from homes where, you know, one parent or both parents were not present, either because they actually weren't there in the home or they weren't present in their presence, which can be just as powerful. And so all of these core wounds have ways of manifesting themselves through our lives. Number one, keep creating them, right? So if you experienced abandonment, our ego knows that that is the programming that it has, and so it's going to continue to create ways to experience abandonment in your life. And there's a way that these things create unconscious commitments to staying broke or to staying in feast or famine with I'm just trying, I feel like I forgot one, and I'm just going off the cuff here, guys, because I wanted to just be here really present with you. If someone on the team could just pull up, actually I have the slides right here. I can do it myself. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, so abandonment, betrayal is the one that I forgot. So being betrayed, right? For me, that looked like oftentimes my mama, you know, single mom doing the best she could, but her saying that she would be somewhere to pick me up and, you know, maybe being an hour late. So then we've got betrayal and abandonment all gouged up together. So again, the 5 core wounds: abandonment, persecution, violation, humiliation, and betrayal. And each of these has ways of either making us hyper vigilant about money, right? So in the case of humiliation, proving what a good girl we are by minding all of our pennies and dimes and never using debt, which is a very constricted way, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow a business, to being a spendthrift. You know, I remember on one of our first webinars, there was a woman who shared that she's very good at creating money. She's always created a lot of money, and she never has anything to show for it. So we want to start to look, you know, for those of you who choose to join me in MoneyWise, the wisdom lies in getting clear around what your personal wounds are and how they're playing out in the results that you're having in your business and in your life, so that you can change them, and you can change them consciously. So I am getting your questions via email. Thank you for those of you. I'm not seeing them here on the go to, what are we on? We're on Google Hangouts. So let me know. Hey, honey, can you let the dog out? He's doing his thing. Okay, I'm back. I kicked myself out of our own Hangout. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have. You know, if it's questions about whether it's appropriate or not for you to join MoneyWise, if you have questions around money mindset and money blocks, I would love to get them here and just really make myself available to you. It's been really amazing seeing so many of you coming to really get wise around money, both the inner work and the external application of everything that you're going to be learning with me over the next 2 months. It shows me that you're really serious about this business thing and that you're, you know, putting on your big girl panties, as I like to say, so that you're running your business like a pro, right? That you're tracking your financials, that you're making decisions based on cash flow and what's working, and we're not living in this very sort of mystical, what I call the mystical feminine of money, right? Where we're very flowy about it and not taking the level of responsibility that will allow money to stay with us. So let me just check here. Okay, so we have a question about, you know, is MoneyWise right for you if you don't have a business yet? Yes, absolutely, 100%. If you have a desire to create money flow outside of your working environment, this is the perfect entry place. In fact, I was just on the phone before this call with a woman who's just starting her coaching practice. And I said to her, I'm so glad that you found me now, because we're going to build your business on a solid foundation instead of you spending the next 2 to 3 years chasing the magic pill and the bright shiny object and learning all these things that may apply someday, but don't apply now, you know. And one of the things that I know to be true is when you build your business from a place of truth and you have that fundamental foundation, right? So then the house gets built on it. You don't need to know a lot of this stuff, right? So, you know, I'll have clients come to me and they're like, oh, I just invested $2,000 in this Facebook course to learn how to run Facebook ads. And it's like, well, honey, when you need that, you're just going to hire somebody to do it for you. Like, that's a much better, a much wiser way to run your business, because Facebook is changing all the time. And I just, you know, I want to be sort of an intervention for those of you who, you know, think that there's some magical answer outside of yourself. There isn't. It has to start in here. And that's what we're going to be working on with MoneyWise. So absolutely, if you are just at the beginning, MoneyWise is a great option for you. So let's see what else we've got here. I'm not seeing any others. Let me just check in the Facebook group. Because I've done such a good job. You guys got all your questions answered. Just osmosis it. Oh, Ariel, I love that you just called me the Keevester. That's very funny. People used to call me that in high school. All right, loves, this is your chance. I got another moment or so. If there's any other concepts that you want me to go back over, if you have any questions, this is the time. All right, then. Well, we will keep this brief. So registration for MoneyWise does close tonight at midnight Pacific. So you've got, you know, about 9 hours left, plenty of time to make a decision. If you do have questions, we are staffed up all day to receive you. So you can email me at kiva@wisewomennetwork.com. It has been such a pleasure this last few weeks of being in this experience with all of you. I've had a blast, so much fun. And this is what I want for you. I want you to be able to create portals for your work to come through in the world that are fun and joyful and profitable, right? So that we change the paradigm and turn it on its head, that we have to struggle and effort and be in crisis to actually pursue the things that we want. They are here for us in every moment, and Gus has got our back. All right, ladies. Well, with that, I will let you be on with your day. Mwah. Love you so much, and I look forward to being with you in MoneyWise. Talk to you soon.